Alrighty, what is up, gang? It is your boy Ronnie 2 times back again with another video. And today we got a very special story time. Now, before we get into that, I just want to make a little bit of a preface. I know that I went MIA last week. I had a video that I wanted to shoot and record, but it did not go through. So instead of just rushing and making y'all a video just to have y'all a video that week, I wanted to make sure I came with the best quality and the best content, which is why I'm presenting you with this fucking banger. You already know what's about to go on. Now, I know y'all see the thumbnail and the title, and I already know, yo, like, how could you play with the Ouija board? Like, that shit sounds nuts. You already know. When it comes to me and females, I start to do stupid shit and shit that I shouldn't be doing, but it is what it is. I guess we'll never learn. Now, this happened to me all the way in sophomore year of high school. Now, I say that to say that sophomore year and college year me, like now currently, are two different people. There's shit that I would rather die than to do for a female now that I probably wouldn't think twice of doing for a female back then. One of them things is playing a Ouija board. Yes, you heard that right. I literally got possessed, haunted by a demon, molested. You need to leave. Because I was trying to impress a girl. But we'll get into that later. Hold on. Now, sophomore year, right? I was trying to explore out more because freshman year, I didn't really like... I had friends, but I didn't really have like a lot of female friends. So I was trying more and more and more to, go out more. I was trying to experiment, try to shoot my shot, you feel me? And try to see if I could find myself a girlfriend and try to see if I could at least, like, you feel me, get out of my nest. So essentially, right, this was around October that I started hanging out with other peoples from different high schools, because the way that my city worked is that since there were so many of us, it was 7 high schools in total. I went to the Academy of Technology, and a lot of the people that I was meeting were from the Academy of Arts. Now, there's this girl that I've always liked ever since freshman year in high school till literally, even still to this day. To this day! I still like her because she's mad fire, but we'll get into that later. So she went to the Academy of Arts, so I never really got the chance to speak to her. But you feel me, one of my boys, he was like, yo, like, you feel me, pull out to this Halloween party, it's in 2 weeks. The girl that you're trying to get with and the girl that you like, she's also going, and she just broke up with her mans. Now, you feel me, high school me was a lot different. I had no intentions of trying to bag the hoe, but you feel me, I had to put on the act, because even though the dog wasn't out, I still got that dog in me, rest assured. So I was like, yeah, I'm most definitely gonna, you feel me, talk to her, blah blah blah, like, yeah, I'm gonna try to see if I can back it up. I was lying, but anyways, so you feel me, fast forward 2 weeks, it's finally, you feel me, the week of Halloween. Halloween is on Sunday, keep that in mind. So Friday was the party. Now, the party was really a kickback. If you don't know what a kickback is essentially, it's kind of like a party, but the music is toned down. And the purpose of a kickback is just to chill with your friends and just like hang out. Like, it's a big ass hangout. So you should know this, and I didn't know this, but you should know that if you're going to pull up to a kickback that you don't know anybody else but the person inviting you, always bring an additional person, because 9 times out of 10, that person will leave you. You will be by yourself. Of course, I get to the party, right? Boom. Like 10 minutes later, I turn around. This man disappeared quicker than my father, which I didn't even think was possible. But so essentially, you feel me, I'm there at the party, he disappears, and I'm looking around because I'm like, fuck, I got to sit somewhere and I got to talk to somebody. I can't just be that one weirdo kid that's sitting in the corner, you feel me? I can't ruin my high school reputation like that. So I look around and I finally see a couch. So I'm making my way there, and God so be it, the girl that I like is right there too. So I'm like, you know what? I might as well just start talking to her. She look like she, feel me, by herself and lonely. So I'm like, bet. I sit next to her. You feel me? It takes probably like 5 or 6 minutes to me muster up the courage. I finally turn my head. It's on. I start talking to her. Boom, boom, boom. We start to get acquainted. Now, as we're speaking, right? The person that was throwing the kickback, aka the owner of the house, pulls out a whole bunch of board games. She was like, yo, if you guys want to play, you feel me, you guys could grab them, just make sure you put them back in the box, all this other shit. So he had Monopoly, he had Guest, he had Sorry, he had Yahtzee, he had fucking, you name it, he had fucking Uno, all that. All the way to the end though, he had this dusty, rusty ass box. And we were wondering what that was. He was like, oh, this is a Ouija board. I thought I'd bring it out because it's Halloween. You feel me? So I'm like, oh, that sounds fire. But obviously, you feel me, that was the intrusive thoughts. The real me was shitting my pants because I already heard things about that. I was like, nah, I can't touch that. So me and the girl started talking about it. I'm like, nah, I don't think I'm gonna do it. She's like, oh, what are you, pussy?
Nervous does not coexist in this human form.
You already know, ego Ron had to step out. You feel me? Ron 2 times had to step out. I'm like, nah, we could do it. I'm definitely not scared of no fucking ghosts. I should have just been you feel me? I should have just been myself, but it is what it is. So he's like, okay, everybody wants to play the Ouija board, but we're going to have to split up in groups because it's too many people that want to play for us to play it in one sitting. So we group up, right? And it's us and 2 other people. And then there's like 4 or 5 groups. So everybody goes through, right? And there's not really anything happening with the board. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like this shit is fake. Thank God. Because I'm not trying to touch this shit and ghosts start to haunt me and try to touch me while I'm sleeping. You feel me? So it's our turn, right? And so we finally get on the board. Now, we all put our hands on the board, and then that shit starts moving. So I'm like, okay, somebody's obviously playing jokes because it hasn't moved the whole night with any of the other groups. So it starts moving and moving and moving, right? And so we start asking it questions like just dumb shit like, who are you? And what's your name? And when did you die? That's when one of the unknown people, you know, the side character, the person that joined the group, asked, who are you after? Now, keep in mind, right? Like, we're not supposed to ask any personal questions. This motherfucker must have had a death wish because I don't understand.
You niggas is just retarded.
As he asks that, the whole room gets silent because we're waiting to see who the fuck it responds to, right? It doesn't move. So I'm like, okay, that person probably fucked it up. I was thinking that it was him because I'm like, oh, he probably fucked up and didn't know any of our names, so he couldn't spell it. After a few seconds, though, it started moving. And guess what letter? I want you to guess what letter it moved to. I'll give you a few seconds. Yeah, it moved to the letter R. Now, the girl that I was talking to, her name Rachel. So I'm like, it's either me or her. Then it starts going to the letter O. I'm like, fuck. It spells out my name. Now I'm over here praying to God that this ghost made a mistake and is dyslexic or doesn't know how to spell. You feel me? Because I'm like, nah, there's no way. There's no way that my main character syndrome decided to kick in now and now this ghost wants me. So everybody at that point ends up taking off their hands off the board and it's just me. So I start asking, I'm like, what do you want? That was another mistake. It spells out soul. I'm like, huh? So I'm like, hell no. So one thing I did know is that you had to put your hands back on the board in order to say goodbye. So I made everybody put their hands back on, right? And we were trying to push it to say goodbye and it was not budging. So I already knew we were dealing with some level 5 tier 6 fucking demonic possession shit. Some haunting at Connecticut type shit. But I'm like, you know what? You feel me? Maybe it's just somebody still messing around. I still had, you know, you feel me? I was still being skeptical. So essentially, since the thing was not budging, the little mouse on the Ouija board, by the way, if you don't know what it looks like this. But anyway, so since that little squeegee mouse thing was not moving off the board, I decided to keep asking it questions. So I was like, how are you going to take my soul? This shit spelled out decapitate. Now I started to shit my pants because I'm like, I know none of these people at this table know how to spell decapitate. I don't even know how to spell decapitate. So I was like, damn, I'm messing with some fucking Albert Einstein ass ghost. So at that point, I started to get freaked out, right? And so I'm like, all right, we gotta go. So I literally use all my force to get it to say goodbye. And I'm like, boom, done. Right? So at that point, right, I started to get freaked out, but I'm like, I can't freak out in front of this girl. I can't look like a bitch. And she's like, yo, that was so sick. That was this, that was that. I was like, yeah, you know, it was pretty cool, but I'm pretty sure it was fake. In the back of my head, I'm like, of course this bitch thinks that it's cool because she's not the one getting haunted. So, you feel me? The party ends, boom. I go home. I don't see nothing. I don't feel anything weird. I'm fine. The next day, Saturday, this is where shit starts to get spooky. Now, the whole day, right, I'm in and out the house, but I start seeing shit missing. My towel started missing. My toothbrush started missing. My deodorant started missing. My cologne started missing. Just like little shit that I would use started to miss. But it was weird because I don't know if this ghost wanted me to smell like shit. Like, I don't know if it was into that type of shit. But anyways, you feel me? Little small things started moving around. And then I would find them like at the staircase, or I would find them on the couch, or I would find them in the bathroom. And I thought it was my grandma, because you already know how old ladies, they be moving shit around and don't be telling nobody and acting like it's not them. So I kind of ignored it. So I'm like, all right, whatever. Right? That Saturday that I fell asleep, I felt like something was watching me. And that was only the beginning, because shit's about to get way worse. So now we're in Sunday. Now, it's obviously Halloween, so I go to go trick or treat. I go to go party. You feel me? And essentially, I come back at 2:45, 2:30 at night, right? And so I'm trying to go to sleep. Now, my bed was on the floor because keep in mind, I had just moved into this house, so I didn't have any of my furniture. So as I'm trying to fall asleep, I start hearing shit in the basement because my room is right above the basement. It's like directly above it. So I start hearing shit, but I'm over here thinking like it's like an animal or it's like whatever, just like the wind. So I ignore it. 2 or 3 days go by, right? And I keep hearing the same noises, and it keeps getting louder and louder and louder. As that's going on, more of my shit starts to disappear and get misplaced. So I'm like, either a crackhead is coming up during the nighttime trying to get freaky,
I'm like, goddamn, you dirty bitch, you dirty bitch, you dirty bitch.
or a demon's trying to fuck with me. So I'm like, all right, boom. I finally get sick of it, and I decide to go check the basement, which was my worst mistake. So in the kitchen, there's a door to the basement. The way that the basement is constructed, it's the basement and then there's a guest room on the other side of the wall. If the door is open and the lights are on, you can see the guest room lights in the door. So I'm standing at the top of the stairs, right? I'm looking and I see that the lights are on and I see that the door is open. So I'm like, oh, okay, it must have been, you feel me, just like an animal that reached the light, or it must have been like the wind or something. I'm trying to justify it. As I'm walking downstairs to go turn off the lights and close the door, the ghost did it for me. That motherfucker turned off the lights and slammed the door shut. I'm like, oh, what?
This how you gonna do me?
Word. You trying to get paranormal in this bitch. Got you. I turned my ass around and sped walk up the bitch. I literally entered my room and erased my memory. Like, I was like, I'm not thinking about that. There has to be some sort of explanation or something, right? So, you feel me? A few days go on, right? And nothing really happens. And I start to get sleep paralysis. I didn't think it was weird because I always get sleep paralysis and I've never seen anything. But this time it was different. Number one, I would always wake up in cold sweat. And two, I would feel like there was something on my chest. As the days went by, right, I kept feeling more and more and more pressure on my chest to the point where I felt like I could not breathe. You feel me? So, anyways, you know, I finally get to the point where I'm like, all right, either you're going to show yourself, or I'm going through some crazy ass fucking mental fucking psychiatric break. So I started testing the ghost. Best believe that motherfucker showed himself. This, after the week that I was getting all these sleep paralysis, it finally showed up. So now I'm gonna show you this right here. You see that right? You see that right there? That's my closet. None of that stuff was in there. It was just an empty walk-in closet. Now, that night, right, it was a Saturday night. I remember it like it was fucking yesterday because that shit was scary as fuck. But it was a Saturday night. I had woken up and I had seen in the closet there was something standing there and it was blacker than black. And I was staring at it and it was definitely staring at me. So I'm like, oh, okay. So either I die or I'm fighting this bitch. It was the latter. I was fighting the hoe. So as I'm staring at it, I feel like I'm staring at it for hours, right? And essentially, I start hearing shit in my head, and it's like, come play with me. Come play with us. Ronald, join us. Come play with me. Come play with us. I'm like, oh, this motherfucker pulling out all the stops and tracks for my ass. You feel me? I know I'm sexy, but I don't think you had to do all that. You could just ask me. This could work between each other. You feel me? So it starts taking steps towards me. As it starts taking steps towards me, right? I start hearing it more and more and more. It's bouncing through my head. So I'm like, oh shit. Well, this was a good life. I lived it good. You feel me? I'm still a virgin, but you feel me? You can't complain. You win some, you lose some. As it starts getting to the foot of the bed, right? So on the corner of the mattress, I finally gained the power to get up and run. So I get up and I run into my mom's crib, right? So during this whole few weeks that it was happening, they was not believing me to save my life. They was not believing me. Finally, when I came in crying, because yes, I was crying. You feel me? Men cry too. Respect. You feel me? They finally believed me and they saged the house. So after that, I didn't really feel anything, but I always used to feel that something was watching me. So, you know, I started to do my research and I started to, I started to look into the Ouija board. And sometimes certain Ouija boards could be cursed because it's due to witchcraft or due to black magic or due to, you feel me, other devilish things that we're not going to get into. Praise the Lord. But so essentially, I got the idea to call my boy. I'm like, yo, can you make a 3-way call? Because yeah, it happened that long ago. I'm sorry. There was no group FaceTime. My bad. Damn! So we made we made a 3-way call and I started asking, I'm like, yo, where did you get that Ouija board? Y'all ready for the bullshit? I want you to prepare yourself for this bullshit. This man comes out and ends up telling me, he's like, oh yeah, my grandma used to do witchcraft on it. I just learned that. I'm like, huh? So you're meaning to tell me you brought this out as a party trick, knowing that your grandma is the devil? Ha! My fucking luck, I guess, right?
You got me fucked up.
So essentially, right? I'm like, okay, great. Like, you fucking cursed me, stupid dumb bitch. So I started to research ways on how to get rid of this shit. And it was talking about some sacrifice another human, sacrifice another animal, like cut off your fingers, cut off your ears. I'm like, I'm not doing none of that. First of all, let's find a proper way. That's when I finally came up on this YouTube video. You feel me? Goated W Mans. I still thank you to this day. Where it was essentially saying that you can burn the Ouija board. If it's not a strong enough connection, you could burn it. So I told my boy, I'm like, yo, we got to burn this shit. At first, he was hesitant. I'm like, bro, do you understand? I have some demon trying to take my booty hole every fucking night. If we don't get rid of this shit, it's done. It's done for our nasty. That's it. It's done. You stop the demon from getting all the hoes. You feel me? So essentially, after some convincing, you feel me, I convinced him and we finally get to his house, right? So I burned that bitch. We stick it in the fucking in like a little fire, right? Outside. Boom. I'm not done yet. Hold on. I collect the ashes, right? I burn them shits. I burn the ash, take that ash, and I throw it literally into a fucking pond, into a river. So that ghost is stuck with the fucking fishes and the frogs. And whatever dead prostitute is in that fucking water. You feel me? And then after that, never felt nothing, never seen nothing, never heard nothing. I've been fine. But obviously, you know that the horror movie never ends. There's always an end credit scene. So demon, entity, ghost, crackhead, whoever you might be, you feel me? Come back to me when I'm like 27. Come back to me, you feel me, 33. When I've already lived my life and I'm an old man. And we can work this out because, you feel me, I'm a reasonable guy. But anyways, lesson learned. Don't fucking play with the Ouija boards, let alone try to impress a female with fucking demons. But anyways, guys, I appreciate you guys. If you guys want to like, comment, and subscribe, go ahead and do so because I appreciate that very, very, very much. I got a lot of stuff on the way. I already know. Here's a little announcement. You already know I got vlogs on the way. I got my Sony camera. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff on the way. I got another Halloween video coming out right before Halloween. So tune in. Peace.